In this lesson, this is the first part of the whole rate of change combination of lessons. So this one's about amount of change formula. Learning outcomes: determine the new value of a quantity from the old value and the amount of change, and calculate the average rate of change and explain how it differs from the instantaneous rate of change. So we've seen this type of concept being used over the course of the course so far, especially when we look at like the quotient, not quotient rule, but the difference quotient. And we get the average rate of change and instantaneous rate of change as the limit of h goes to 0. And so now we're going to talk about maybe going back a little bit and considering the approximation part of this versus the limiting part of this. So in this situation, we will accept that there might be a slight difference between the actual value and the approximated value. So we would be looking at that linear growth or linear change as compared to whatever the change of the actual function might be, and accept that there might be some kind of difference. And just for convenience sake, that's okay. So we have an example like this, where it's f of 3 equals 2, and f prime of 3 equals 5, f to estimate f of 3.2. So we do this by saying, okay, that h that we're talking about, we're talking about the, f, get my draw on, f of the a plus h. In this case, our a would be 3. Our a plus h is going to be that 3.2, so the h must be the 0.2. And that's what we have here. That's the h. And so it's our f of a plus h times f prime of a, so the slope at that point. And that's how we can get these values. So we're going to try one here. Given f of 10 is negative 5, f prime of 10 is 6, and estimate f of 10.1. So we have our h, in this case, would be the 10.1 minus 10, or 0.1. So our f of 10.1 is going to be f of 10 plus 0.1, which we would then approximate, and that's what these little wavy lines look like. It's f of 10 plus 0.1 times f prime of 10. So we have an f of 10 value that's negative 5. And then we have 0.1 times the slope at f of 10, f prime of 10 is 6. So we end up with negative 5 plus 0.6, or negative 4.4. That's it. Here's another one that talks about the average population change. And really, like I said, I feel like we're taking some steps back because we're talking about average change from 1997 to 1999. So we're looking at from here to there. And so we would do 720 minus 675 over 1999 minus 1997. So 720 minus 675 is 80. So we get 40. So 40 jobs a year. And in the second case, it's from 1999 to 2001. So same type of thing. 790 minus 755 over 2001 minus 1999. And that's going to be 35 over 2, so 17.5 jobs. Okay, and that does it for this kind of mini lesson.